Good afternoon. Welcome to Oldham County Fiscal Court. It is a couple minutes after 2 o'clock on May 17th, 2016, and we're getting ready to start the meeting. If everyone who is able would stand, we'll recite the Pledge of Allegiance. My name is Steve Greenwell. I'm the magistrate for the 4th District here in Oldham County. Judge Vogel is away on a family trip and asked me if I'd fill in, so I beg your all's pardon here early. Let's call the roll. Sheila Fair, if you would please call the roll.
Magistrate Likens. Magistrate Tice.
Here.
Magistrate Leslie.
Here.
Magistrate Greenwell.
Here.
Magistrate Sparks.
Here.
Magistrate Eldridge.
Here.
Magistrate Dye.
Here.
Magistrate Logsdon.
Here.
And Judge Vogel.
First of all, we need a motion to appoint me as temporary chairman, and I would entertain that motion now.
So moved. Second.
Did you get that, Sheila? Okay. Thank you. Any discussion on the matter? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, now we're going to have the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Does anybody need to add, or do we need to delete anything? I have one addition, and that is a bond release for Summit Park, and we'll make that number 3 under the bond releases. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, Sheila, if you would read the minutes, please, from the May 3rd meeting.
May 3rd, 2016. The Oldham County Fiscal Court convened at a regular meeting at 2 p.m. with Judge Executive David Vogel, County Attorney John Carter, and the following magistrates in attendance: Brent Likens, Wayne Tice, Bob Leslie, Steve Greenwell, J.D. Sparks, Kevin Eldridge, Bob Dye, and Michael Logsdon. Motion made by Magistrate Dye and seconded by Magistrate Likens to approve the agenda with the following changes: adding Code Enforcement Board appointment and house signage discussion, and removing the contract agreement for Colonel Oldham statue. Motion carried unanimously. Motion made by Magistrate Leslie and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to approve the minutes of April 19th. Motion carried unanimously. Public comment. John Nichols of LaGrange spoke to the court regarding several concerns, including general traffic safety and road projects. Deputy Judge Executive John Black spoke to the court regarding the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet and thanked KYTC District 5 personnel for all their work in Oldham County. Kevin Nuss, Director of Emergency Management, presented information relating to the burn ban in effect for Oldham County, prohibiting open burning beginning May 1st through September, and that questions concerning open burning should be addressed to the Kentucky Division of Air Quality. The county's open burn ordinance that references the types of burning allowed in Oldham County during the ban can be found on the county website. Sheriff Deputy Mike Meese presented information relating to results of the recent drug take-back event and stated over 230 pounds of prescription drugs were collected in Oldham County, the most collected to date. Jen Shen, Curry's Fork Watershed Coordinator, provided information to the court regarding Curry's Fork Fest on May 12th, a watershed education dinner held at the John Black Community Center. KYTC presentation, Rural Secondary Road Program. Matt Bullock and Tony Herod, Kentucky Transportation Cabinet District 5, presented information to the court regarding the 2016-17 Rural Secondary Program and responded to questions from the court. Hope Health Clinic presentation. Marcia Bevan and Janet Warren with Hope Health Clinic presented information to the court relating to its program and services and responded to questions from the court. County Administration payables. Motion made by Magistrate Sparks and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to approve the payables. Motion carried unanimously. CAECO insurance premium renewal for 2016-17. Motion made by Magistrate Dye and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to approve the CAECO All Lines Fund insurance premium renewal for fiscal year 2016-17. Motion carried 8-0-1. Magistrate Logsdon abstained. Community business. Second reading, public hearing for the proposed ordinance for the loan agreement with Stockyards Bank. Stan Clark presented for a second reading proposed ordinance number KOC 220-119 relating to a loan agreement with Stockyards Bank for the new detention center project, and the floor was open for public comment. There being no public comment, the public hearing was closed. Motion made by Magistrate Dye and seconded by Magistrate Sparks to adopt ordinance number KOC 16-220-119 relating to a loan agreement with Stockyards Bank for the new detention center project. Motion carried unanimously. Motion made by Magistrate Greenwell and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to take a 5-minute recess. Motion carried unanimously. The motion made by Magistrate Dye and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to resume the meeting. Motion carried unanimously. First reading for the proposed fireworks enforcement ordinance. Judge Vogel presented for a first reading proposed ordinance number 16-82207 relating to establishing regulation of fireworks within the county, providing for enforcement and penalties. Discussion followed. Minor changes were discussed amongst the court, and a consensus was reached to amend as discussed. The second reading public hearing will be June 7th. Committee recommendations and reports. For the Road Committee, erosion control bond release, Dollar General and Crestwood. Motion made by Magistrate Logsdon and seconded by Magistrate Greenwell upon the recommendation of the county engineer to release a $2,250 erosion control bond for the Dollar General store, Highway 146 in Crestwood. Motion carried unanimously. Law Enforcement Protection Program grant application for the Sheriff's Office. Motion made by Magistrate Leslie and seconded by Magistrate Likens to authorize the Judge Executive to sign the grant application with Kentucky Office of Homeland Security relating to Law Enforcement Protection Program funds for updated tasers. Motion carried unanimously. AOC Building Annual Reimbursement Agreement. Motion made by Magistrate Likens and seconded by Magistrate Leslie to approve the AOC reimbursement in the amount of $311,200 for the operational costs and use allowance for the Oldham County Courthouse. Motion carried unanimously. Resolution to accept orphaned segment Old Kentucky 2857 from KYTC. Motion made by Magistrate Eldridge and seconded by Magistrate Greenwell to authorize the Judge Executive to sign Resolution Number 01050316 relating to accepting ownership and maintenance of Old Kentucky 2857 from the State Highway System. Motion carried unanimously on a roll call vote. Contract for the Centerfield Lane Bridge repairs. Motion made by Magistrate Greenwell and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to authorize the Judge Executive to sign the contract agreement with the Kentucky Transportation Center relating to Centerfield Lane Bridge repairs project. Motion carried unanimously. Casabella Pyrotechnics contract for the July 4th fireworks. Motion made by Magistrate Leslie and seconded by Magistrate Tice to authorize the Judge Executive to sign the contract agreement with Casabella Pyrotechnics LLC relating to the county's annual 4th of July celebration. Motion carried 8-1. Magistrate Logsdon voted no. Contract for property vacant land sale at 5002 Hickory Hill Drive, LaGrange. Motion made by Judge Executive Vogel and seconded by Magistrate Leslie to authorize the Judge Executive to sign the vacant land contract agreement in the amount of $32,000 for the sale of vacant county land at 5002 Hill Drive, LaGrange. Motion carried unanimously. Cobra Administrative Services Agreement. Motion made by Magistrate Logsdon and seconded by Magistrate Likens to authorize the Judge Executive to sign the Administrative Services Agreement with McGregor and Associates relating to Cobra Administration. Motion carried unanimously. Personnel actions and board appointments for police. Motion made by Magistrate Tice and seconded by Magistrate Leslie to accept the resignations of Detective Griffin Lyford, effective April 24th, 2016, and Officer Dwayne Durrett, effective May 15th, 2016. Motion carried unanimously. Pewee Valley Fire Protection District Board. Motion made by Magistrate Logsdon and seconded by Magistrate Sparks to appoint Otis R. Florence to the Pewee Valley Fire Protection District Board with a term expiring June 30th, 2019. Motion carried unanimously. Code Enforcement Board. Motion made by Judge Executive Vogel and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to appoint Larry Chandler to the Code Enforcement Board with a term expiring September 18th, 2018. Motion carried unanimously. Second public comment, none. Executive session pursuant to KRS 61.810C pending litigation. Motion made by Judge Vogel and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to go into closed session pursuant to KRS 61.810C pending litigation. Motion carried unanimously. Motion made by Judge Vogel and seconded by Magistrate Greenwell to come out of closed session. Motion carried unanimously. Other business and announcements. Magistrate Dye stated the ramp repair work at exit 14 to I-71 northbound is complete and the ramp is now open. He announced the Brownsboro Alliance Trail Association's guided hike Saturday, May 14th at 10. Magistrate Logsdon stated the road project at Highway 22 and Bridge Hill is expected to be completed by June, and Pee Wee Valley's Concert in Central Park Series opens May 15th from 5 to 8. Judge Executive Vogel thanked KYTC and the Hope Health Clinic for their presentations at today's meeting. He also provided a brief summary of applications for various alcohol sales licenses since the county's special election to allow alcohol sales throughout the county. Motion made by Magistrate Dye and seconded by Magistrate Tice to adjourn the meeting. Motion carried unanimously, and the meeting was adjourned at 5:20 p.m.
You've heard the reading of the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes?
No, I move we accept the minutes as read.
Motion to accept the minutes, second? Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next on the agenda is time for public comment. Anyone from the community is allowed to get up and speak for 4 minutes about any topic they want to, and we'll have public comment response after that. So is there anyone that would like to speak today? Yes, sir?
My name is Bill Schmidt.
You have to come forward and give your name and address, please.
My name is Bill Schmidt. I live at 1110 Riverside Drive. I'm here with a group of individuals who are interested in the topic that will be discussed under the Utilities Committee about the FEMA process. I just wanted to say that we've got a group here, and we're looking forward to that discussion. Thank you.
Glad to have you.
Appreciate
Thank you. Anyone else?
Steve,
Yes.
I'd like,
Magistrate Leslie will be coming to the podium.
thank you, Sheila. Approximately a month ago, my name is Bob Leslie. I'm magistrate for District 3. Approximately a month ago, Kevin Nuss asked me to come down to Central Dispatch to talk about the various numbers that are on people's houses. When I went down there, there were people from the various police departments, fire departments, and also someone from planning and development. We're having a problem with people when they call in to EMS for fire or need hospital, ambulatory services. And we have a 1987 ordinance that does cover that, but it's outdated now. And what we're hoping people will do, and this is a copy of a postcard that's going to be given out on the Crusade for Children by the police and fire. And we would like people to have reflective numbers on a post or on their mailbox or something on the street, because at 3 o'clock in the morning, if they're coming out to your house, they cannot necessarily see the address. And if it's an EMS call and someone's had a heart attack or something like that, 1 minute can make the difference between someone being alive and someone not being alive. So this is a copy of the postcard. We are going to be going to what we hope to be 3 inches reflective material. And this tells you a little bit about what we're hoping to do in the ordinance. And we're going to want use Arabic numbers. And this is a serious problem that they're having, because if the house sits back from the road and it's a fire department call and they don't see an address because they don't have a post or a mailbox or something like that, we are alerting people that this may be the difference between your life or your death. So we are working on that. It was quite a large discussion because every person that was there had something that they wanted to say in reference to this issue, because it's a serious issue. And they're also discussing various things about who names a road, and it should be coming from planning and development, because we have like Cherrywood Road, Cherrywood Circle, Cherrywood Avenue. And so those road names are actually supposed to come from Matt in planning and development. And so this is just something that we want to let people know. We think it's an important issue, and we will be bringing this to the court at some time. But since I had a few minutes here and this will go out on television, hopefully people will be able to watch this and get an idea of, what we're trying to do.
Bob, do you have any idea about the firemen and police doing it during the Crusade for Children, how many houses they might reach percentage-wise?
Well,
Like-
they've printed 2,000 of these postcards out. And so they're giving them to all the fire departments and additional ones to give out to people's houses. Or if they go by and they see that there's a mailbox that doesn't have identification cards, they may be putting one in your mailbox.
Okay.
So we're doing, what we want to do is also have Matt do, or I have Jay do a video in reference to this issue. And Bob Dye suggested there might be some humor involved in this to try to get it a little bit, stale. Or, but this is just to want to let everybody know, and this being on TV, we need your help so we can help you.
Okay.
That's all I had.
Thank you very much. Anyone else like to come up for public comment? Come forward, please.
Chairman Greenwell and Magistrates, I'm Kevin Jeffries, Chairman of the Planning Commission, but Magistrate Leslie had a good point about the addressing, but something I also wanted to add to it that makes it a little more complicated. On the east-west roads, 42, 146, Highway 22, it splits east and west. I happen to live on Highway 22, and our address, there's another same number address about a mile down the road. We have a hard time, UPS has a hard time finding us. A lot of times, if I give somebody an address, they end up on the other end of 22 because 1503 east, there's a 1503 west about a mile down the road. So that is somewhat confusing. I know it would be a very difficult task to ask folks, to either go to a 5-digit number or 6-digit number or whatever to do away with that. But that's something I think needs to be looked into, because there's some instances where, I'm sure fire trucks and whatever, or ambulances would have trouble finding somebody if they were east and somebody didn't give them the east or the west. So that's something I think if you all are looking into that, it might be something that you might want to consider, how you could address that to make that a little more plain when you're, driving out across the county or whatever.
But it would help if they would put the east and west on their mailbox
Correct.
and along with the correct number.
Right. Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Steve?
Yes.
That is something that did come up in the discussion, because we know it is a problem.
Right, right. Okay. Anybody else for public comment? Would any other magistrates like to respond to anything that was said today? Okay. Going on, we have a couple of presentations today. The first one is from the Oldham County Homemakers Association. Dottie Crouch, please.
Thank you, and I present greetings from the Oldham County Homemakers, and these 3 rows here are ladies. I'm Dottie Crouch. I'm president of the Oldham County Homemakers, and we're going to give you a handout here of what we do for the county, and afterwards we have a little treat for you all. First off, we are celebrating, will that go on there? I don't know. I don't know if this can be.
It's up there now.
Okay.
Good.
We are celebrating 94 years with the Oldham County Homemakers through the Kentucky Extension. Also, we have 127 members at this present time. We have, with your handouts, we have helped over $1 million to the ovarian cancer research at the University of Kentucky. That money is generated from donations as well as us doing fundraisers, but also $1 from each of our membership dues that we pay is also presented to the Kentucky Extension or University of Kentucky for this research. Many of our homemakers have done this screening and have found at that time whether they've had ovarian cancer. We have several of them that are survivors today. Along with that, the homemakers, if you're a member of homemakers, you get that screening free. We also have made more than 500 pain pillows. These are pillows for surgery patients, and they are given to our local hospital. Those that may have heart or appendix or whatever, but they're surgery pillows. We have also made over 300, estimated 300 hats for cancer patients of all ages. We have made more than 2,000 lap quilts for the Veterans Hospital, donated over 200 pairs of shoes to the Water Step program. And if you're not familiar with this program, it's a very, very organized program to present clean water to some of our foreign countries that does not have that accessibility. We have purchased bricks for the Veterans Memorial Park of Kentucky. Donated more than $2,000 of school supplies to the Family Resource Center at the LaGrange Elementary School. And each one of our clubs have members that will donate, they will collect school supplies, not only for the students, but also for the teachers and the counselors. And we try to keep them supplied with what we can in those donations. We have provided scholarships. We try to provide 2 scholars annually, and we've done this over the past 20 years. We have sponsored funding for limited resource youth for those students or children to go to 4-H camp every summer, and we've done this as well over the past 20 years. We've provided food for the Fiscal Court Appreciation Luncheon at the Extension Office each spring. We assisted with the Dare to Care food distribution program over the past 5 years. We've taught heritage skills, knitting, needlepoint, sewing to 4-H members for almost a century, as well to any of the homemakers that are interested in learning. And these homemakers are not necessarily women. We've also taught many men how to knit, crochet, and sew, as well as cook. We've donated baby items for new mothers through the Oldham County Health Department of the HANDS program each month for 7 years. On that, we also volunteered more than 19,875 hours during the 2014-2015 year, an estimated value of $458,000. Our funding that we get, we also do fundraisers such as the Soup and Salad that most of you have attended this past year. We do plant sales, we have tea parties, we sell crafts, we make donations from our other members as well as those of the community. Also, I'd like to present to you all a little snack from the homemakers. If y'all would, please. And if you have not already been informed, on June the 7th, the Oldham County Extension, as well as the homemakers, will providing your brunch to you to the Fiscal Court on that date. If y'all not been notified, I'm letting you know, mark your calendars for June the 7th. We also want to say thank you for your all's support. We also want to tell you all that we do appreciate you listening to us and being there when we make those phone calls and knocking on your door. As homemakers of the county, we appreciate not only what you do for us, but we try to do for you as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Dottie, and I've never missed one of those brunches, and I RSVP'd today, so I'll be there, and I'm sure most of my colleagues will be also. It's an amazing what you all do for Oldham County, and people ask me all the time, what does Extension do, and why do they get money from the budget and everything? I think this pretty well answered the question today, along with 4-H and along with helping the agricultural community with their questions and problems and everything, and so you all are a great example for everyone. I appreciate you all coming today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have a presentation from the Oldham County Youth Football League. Matt Lippy.
Hello, like you said, I'm Matt Lippy. I'm the president of the Oldham County Youth Football League. I'm going into my second year. Last year, we had a very successful year. We had over 400 football players and cheerleaders in the league last year. We actually added 3 more teams instead of take away teams, which we have done in the past. Concussion has always been a bad word around football, but last year we implemented a training course through Norton Healthcare. Dr. Tad Seifert has come in, and not to help us diagnose, but to help us learn more about it and what to look for. And that's been one of the big things we've been going through, and also the purchase of brand new helmets, brand new, better concussion-proof helmets that we've been purchasing through the league. It was a great year last year. We changed the ages, we changed the schedule a little bit, and went through, and the weather helped us out tremendously. And we were able to have a very successful year. This season, registration has opened up. You can go to www.ocyfl.org to register. We do have financial assistance. We will never turn a kid away back from playing. Robert Lane, who runs Guns and Hoses, he's also one of our county police officers, donates a percentage of the Guns and Hoses tournament to us for our scholarship fund. It's been very helpful. We did over $2,000 in scholarships last year. Like I said, we will not turn a kid away from playing. This year, we start July 18th. Our first games are August the 20th, with our championships being October 15th. We're hoping to have those at the Oldham County High School. We try to do a different high school each year to give the kids an opportunity to play on the bigger fields. The high school fields, I can't see bigger fields, they're all the same size. But it gives them a chance to one day, they will grow up and go to that high school. Now they're playing on as a youth league player, and they love it. This year we're doing something new is what I want to present to you guys. On November 19th and 20th, we are holding our first annual postseason tournament. We have invited teams from Ohio, Northern Kentucky, Eastern, and Western Kentucky. We're going to have 4 divisions. It's an 8U, a 9U, a 10U, and 11U. So we're going to try to get 4 teams in each division. Of course, we'll have 4 teams in our own team, so we're having 12 teams come in from those different areas. And there's 25 kids on each team, 2 parents roughly on each kid. We're looking at bringing over 1,000 people into Oldham County that weekend. We have a website set up for it. Once again, you can go to www.ocyfl.org. There's a space you can click on called Tournament, which will redirect you to our website for our tournament. We have hotels set up. You click on the hotels, it'll show everything in LaGrange. We are Oldham County Youth Football League, which we want to bring people to Oldham County. And that's what I have. I just want to present to you that we're bringing a postseason tournament, and we're going to try to fill this place up. Questions? Yes, sir.
You said that you were changing the age brackets or something?
Yes, sir. Last year we changed the ages. We look at it every certain amount of years to how it works best for the league. We changed it to 5.5, 6 and 7 for our peewees, 8 and 9 for our junior, and then 10 and 11 for our senior. And we will let a 12-year-old in if they turn 12 before May 1st going into the 6th grade. A lot of times 6th graders don't know if they want to go to middle school or not, but we can't let too many older kids because they are playing with the 10-year-olds, so we don't want too big of an age group. So we do allow a few 12-year-olds in. And like I said, we changed our schedule too. The fall break used to fall right at the end of our season, so we'd have a whole week off before we got into our championships and playoffs. Well, we took that out, moved everything back, and now we go straight through. In the blink of an hour, season's over. It goes pretty quick, finding breaks.
It'll be done before fall break this year?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. October 15th, hopefully, will be our championship. Then we'll go a couple of weeks, and then we'll go to We go to E-Town. They have a Bluegrass Bowl, which we participated in the past 3 years, and we'll finish up with our own tournament November 19th and 20th.
How have we done in that E-Town tournament?
We've done very well. Our 8U has won it once, has come in second twice, and our 10U has come in second. We've been very well there.
Pretty good showing.
Yes, sir. And we've been to many more, and a couple other ones that have done very well. We've actually won a couple sportsmanship awards, by our kids being the most polite, most outgoing players on the fields, which is, to me, is a bigger honor than actually winning the trophy to win the whole thing, is that people are noticing that our kids are very well behaved and very well mannered, which comes from the parents and everybody else in this community.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any questions? Bob Dye, Magistrate?
Yeah, I think it's admirable that you guys don't turn away any potential player. Would you give the email address a little slower?
Sorry, a little nervous.
You might be a little nervous,
It's
I don't know.
www.ocyfl.org.
And OCYSL stands for?
Oldham County Youth Football League, OCYFL.
Okay.
Oldham County Youth Football League. Sorry, a little nervous.
I couldn't run it, when I couldn't write it down up here, I said, well, nobody can hear it out there.
Sorry, I'm a longtime football player and coach. I'm a little excited right now.
You think?
I extremely care about this league. I played in the league. I grew up in this league. My son has just finished his last year in the league. He's actually moved into 7th grade to Oldham County Middle School. But I still have 3 years as president. And people ask, well, your son's leaving. Yeah, his son's moved, but I still have 400 other sons that I need to bring through this league. It's been a big part of my life. We have board members that have been around for 16, 17 years. Tim Collenberg, our ex-president, is going into his 18th year of the board. He was just voted as treasurer. And that's what we're here for, and that's what we want. It's just a big part of this community.
Thank you for your commitment and for the organization.
Thank you, guys.
Magistrate Leslie?
Yes. One thing I wanted to say is you mentioned in our meeting that we had previously
Yes, sir.
about how well your fields are.
Yes, sir.
And how, when somebody else comes in, you have something that you've really taken care of, and the community really appreciates what you do.
Well, I appreciate it. There's nothing I love more than have someone who's just moving to the community and call me and ask me about it. And I always tell them, will you please meet me at the fields? And I say, I'm a much better speaker to someone face-to-face than through email or on the phone. And when they pull down the driveway and you can see them slow down, and they come down our driveway and slowly, when they get out of the car and their eyes are this big looking at our fields, and, well, who else plays here? We do. They're our fields. They're maintained by us. We're 100% completely volunteer. All the money that we do to raise this comes from fees and fundraisers and everything we can do, and that makes me feel great to see that people are in awe of what we have, and which is one of the part of things to the county for letting us use the fields and have that area. Tim Curtis has been a great help with everything we've done, and like I said, it's a place that is deep in my heart.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Next on the agenda, we have an announcement from American Legion, post number 39, Albert Harrison. Albert, how are you doing?
Thank you very much, members of the court. Albert Harrison, 114 McMakin Manor, LaGrange, but that's not why I'm here today. I'm here representing Post 39 of the American Legion. This is your formal invitation, and to the county, to attend the annual Memorial Day program that Sheila's pulling up. There it is. Monday, May 30th, 10 a.m. on the courthouse lawn. It'll be a little bit different this year for people who've been here for a number of years. We've always been over at the corner of First and Main by the Flag Memorial, and because of all the renovations at the courthouse lawn, we're going to be centered on the courthouse lawn, you'll be facing Main Street. So it's a little bit different. You might have to find a new spot to put your own lawn chair, but it'll still work out great. The music this year is going to be a little bit different. We were running behind and we had to do some scrambling and get folks lined up. So we were not able to get the Oldham County Community Singers, but we did get the Oldham County Community Band, and singing with them will be the 5th grade students from the Oldham County Middle School Choir. They sang for us at Veterans Day this past fall, and they are excellent. and we're tickled to death to have them. If we encounter rain, and I hope we don't, we did last year, we'll move indoors to the YMCA LaGrange Community Center up here on West Jefferson. So everybody's invited, and come out and show your support for the veterans. Thank you.
Thank you, Albert. Next on the agenda is a bid opening for Settlers Point Road resurfacing. County Treasurer Melissa Horn has got the bids, and we'll open them up and read them here into the record. Thank you. First one is Hall Contracting of Kentucky. Bid price is $106,025.00. Next is Louisville Paving and Construction. Their bid price is $111,801. These are very competitive bids. This one is Mack Construction. Their bid is $113,497. Ohio Valley Asphalt, their bid is $93,287. And the last one, Riverside Paving, their bid is $103,153. We're going to give these bids to the county engineer, Beth Stuber, and let her look them over. And it will not be awarded today because we're going to do this out of the next fiscal year budget. Is that correct? Okay, all right. Thank you, Beth. Okay. Next on the agenda is county administration and the payables. It's time to pay the bills, and we get this information on Friday, get a chance to look at it over the weekend, and so I'm going to still let the magistrates have a minute or two to look it over if they'd like to, and whenever they're ready, I'll take a motion to approve the payables.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the payables.
Second.
Motion and second. Does anybody need any more time to look it over? Magistrate Leslie.
I have one comment. It's on page 9. And it's for the annual inspection for the bucket truck at the road department. And the price that this company charged is very high, since I happen to be in that business. And I know there are other companies that'll be far more competitive, and I'll let you know.
So we need to be looking for that next year. Obviously, it's already been performed this year and we owe the money, but next year we need to be on the lookout for.
Yes,
Okay, thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Any other questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Moving on to community business, we have the first reading of the fiscal year 16-17 budget. Chairman Tice of the Finance Committee.
Yes, this is the first reading of the budget. Over the weekend or prior to the weekend, all the magistrates should have received the copy and comparisons of what our committee has worked with the judge and Stan on his budget. We'll have the second reading will be on June 7th. And we ask that any questions you may have or suggestions that you address them to the judge no later than May 26th. That'll give him an opportunity to review them, and if need be, our committee can review them as well. So I don't think there's much else to be said on the first reading.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Carter, do we need to summarize this in some way for today? Obviously can't read.
Hard to summarize all
I agree. Is there something general or
No, I think
stands as it is?
it's not in the form of an ordinance, so
Well, it isn't. It does say in here it's an ordinance, but I didn't know if we had to do that on the first reading or not. Would you like for me to present it that way?
Is it located online?
Fiscal year and refer to it.
It is available online on the county website, I believe. It will be.
Yes, yeah.
So anybody that has a interest in it can look at it there. Okay, we'll let that stand as the first reading then. Magistrate Dye.
Magistrate Tice left out one bit of information that the judge wanted any questions by email,
Oh, thank you.
because he's out of town and he will be able to address those issues versus trying to get him on the phone.
Okay. Thank you. Next on the agenda is the first reading for the amendment to the golf cart ordinance, and I guess I'll explain that. We passed the golf cart ordinance last November, December, immediately had an amendment to it so that we could add more streets to the original amendment, and now we find that we have a need to add more streets yet. So there's a list on the ordinance. This will be on the website also, and this will be the first reading. Let me look here a minute.
I got a question.
Back page.
Excuse, the new roads are on the back page in red. Magistrate Sparks.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Squire. Are these new roads being placed there because these, the citizens on those roads requested them, or are they being added to the ordinance because of a commercial interest, or how are they being selected?
Magistrate Dye.
These are all in my district. If you're looking at the back page, the additional roads, the first group, it says maintained by the city of Orchard Grass. These were left off inadvertently from the original ordinance and its amendment. The second group, which says roads maintained by Oldham County, the Briar Hill Estates Road is one that was left off. All the ones that say Glen Oaks, Moser Farms, the reserves, and the woods of Glen Oaks are all subdivisions within the confines of those four subdivisions. And just so happens the Glen Oaks Golf Course is intertwined between Glen Oaks subdivision and Moser Farm subdivision. So to let the people, the golf course, it's just truly a golf course community. And a lot of people came to me when this first came about and said, well, we've got golf carts that we want to be able to drive on our road and take to the golf course and use it, because that's what the whole thing's about. And I said, okay, so they have to go through the same rules and regulations of getting their street legal golf cart inspected by the sheriff. And that will allow the people that live in a golf course community to actually have that golf course allowance.
Okay, so the original proposal was brought forward because UPS wanted to use golf carts in the neighborhoods. Now you're showing that the bedroom or the golf communities want to use it for transporting their people around the community.
No, they're going to and from the golf course,
All right,
which
so,
is within the community.
okay, but if we pass this, they will also be allowed to just drive their golf carts around the community for any purpose. Not just going to and from the golf
Probably
course.
so, yeah, that's what, it's according to statute,
All right.
yes.
So,
Statute will allow that.
all right, and I'm just trying to understand, get everything out here. And so they have to be street legal, you said?
Yes.
Does that include lights?
I do not know all the specific ramifications of what makes a street legal golf cart versus a non-street legal. But it
Is
has
there-
to be inspected by the sheriff and has to have the sheriff sticker on it.
Is there a time limit or, times that they're allowed to drive and not drive these around? Can they drive them around 10:30 at night?
Again, I don't know that.
I didn't see it. Yes.
Magistrate Eldridge.
We had gotten this in our packet and had some time to review it beforehand. I think that information you're looking for is on page 3. It says they can be operated between sunrise and sunset.
Great, thank you. So,
This is, Magistrate Sparks, just to let you know, this is a first reading, and we really don't get that deep into the subject at this time.
yeah, I don't want to change anything on it. I'm just asking, so just general knowledge to understand where we're at on it. All right, thank you.
We'll have the second reading on that on June the 7th also. Okay, next is the second reading of the Briarwood Road Assessment Ordinance. And I see County Engineer Beth Stuber coming up, and Kevin Eldridge, this is in your district, I take it. You all want to fight over who gets to talk about this, or both of you?
We'll let Ms. Stuber take care of it, and then I'll make the motion.
Okay. The citizens of Briarwood Road came to the county and asked if we would accept their petition to come into the road maintenance system if they brought the roads up to standard. We accepted their petition. We had the road bid, came back with a number. They are verbally committed to it. Now we've gone through the ordinance process to see if they will accept the ordinance and if you all will pass it. There are, I'm trying to remember, 9 or 10. There are 10 homeowners, and we don't have a consensus, but we have way over 60% of it. And so I'd like to see get a motion to pass the ordinance, and then we'll accept the bid from the low contractor to approve paving the road.
And have we already gotten these bids?
Yes, we already have the bid.
Okay.
We opened those a while back.
Going to do that today, accept the bid today, if it
Yeah,
were to
if
pass?
the
If it
ordinance passes.
Okay, all right. This is a public hearing portion, and before we have a motion, I believe we have to have a public hearing where people are allowed to speak for and against, and I think the judge usually asks for comments, anybody that's against this at this time. Seeing no one, would anybody like to speak in favor of this ordinance? Don't believe there's anybody here either for that.
No,
Oh, I'm
they're
sorry.
here, but they're
Oh,
just
he's-
not
I
speaking.
didn't see.
Talking.
State your name and address, please.
My name's Owen Heslin, 2800 Briarwood Road. The gentleman that came out and measured our road said it was the worst road in Oldham County. There are holes in that road like that. They're that deep. It's hard to maneuver around all of these holes. It's detrimental to anybody that wants to deliver anything down that road. The value of our property has gone down. I've been there in Oldham County for 36 years. And I haven't seen a road like that anywhere else. And it's a beautiful subdivision, and we've got beautiful land and beautiful everything. But everybody that's there is ready for this to be done. And to me, whatever it costs would be adequate, I'll tell you that. But I can't see anybody that wouldn't want that done. And that's just all I want to say.
Thank you for taking the time today to come forward and speak about this. Does
Thank you, sir.
Does the school bus go down that road?
No.
Okay.
And that's important to me. I used to be the purchasing director of Jefferson County Schools, and I've bid a lot of things in my life, but this is really near and dear to my heart.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. My name's Chris Elsey. I live at 2801 Briarwood Road. We started this process in August. As Pat has indicated, the road is a disaster. And everybody on the road says, what do we have to do to get it done? Can we expedite this? Is there anything we can do? Everybody's ready to pay. We don't really care. We just want to get it done.
Okay.
And it's one of the Oldham County employees, I think it's one of the best people, came down to measure the road. And I happened to visit with him, and he said, this is the worst road he's seen in Oldham County. If you'd like to drive down, Mr. Eldridge, have a look.
Used to live there.
That's what the guy behind me, Creekstone, told me. Yeah, I can assure you it's deteriorated. But I guess if there's anything that we as residents can do to expedite this, get things signed or whatever, we'd love to do it because it's a disaster.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else? Okay, I'll take a motion now. Magistrate Eldridge?
Mr. Greenville, I'd like to make the motion that ordinance KOC 16-620-167, to get the paving done and to bring Briarwood Road into the county. I'd like to make that motion, and I will say I have driven down that road. It has deteriorated badly, so it's much in need.
I'd like to second that motion.
Second from Magistrate Sparks. Any discussion? Magistrate Eldridge?
Just a point of order for Mr. Carter. Brought it to Ms. Stuber's attention. We have plenty of people, a good percentage to get this done, so I don't think it's an issue. But one of the people listed there as property owner is deceased. And speaking to his family, that evidently is in the bank's hands now. So that would be Roy Thomas Clifford is listed as a property owner there. So that may take some further research on how to get that bill taken care of.
Well, it becomes,
Had he signed,
it becomes a lien on the property. We will file a lien on the property. That's
Exactly.
what we do.
Correct.
And so, I mean, all I can tell you is if you'll give us the information, we'll be sure and send out the notice to whomever you want us to send it out to.
Appreciate that very much. I gave that to Beth.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, she'll have to give it to Connie.
Yes, sir, I will.
Magistrate Sparks?
Yeah, Beth, how soon do you think they can get to working on that road? Have you talked to the,
Pending that everything goes fine today, I've got a meeting at 8 o'clock in the morning with the paving contractor tomorrow morning.
all right, would you please let the residents there know as soon as you get a timeline, let them know. Thank you.
Any other discussion, questions? All those in favor of the ordinance, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'm sorry, did we have,
Excuse me, Mr. Eldridge, I stand to be corrected, but I believe the county still auctioned that property early in January.
Good. I had not heard that.
There was a county auction, they had notices up, et cetera. There's been a contract in there, he did some, disposal bids. Probably somebody's gonna flip it, I guess. But it was first or second week in January that, apparently the county auctioned property off.
I'll pass that on to the family. They'll appreciate that. Thank you.
any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, Beth?
Then we need a motion, please, to accept the bid and award the bid to Hall Contracting to pave this road for $35,909.05.
$35,909.05? I'll take
So
a
moved.
motion.
Second.
Any discussion on awarding the bid? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
$35,909.05.
Motion carries.
Love that they couldn't round that off.
Anything else we need to do, Beth? Are we good?
This part, no, not for this.
Okay, we got another second reading here before we get into the erosion control bond releases. Okay, next on the agenda is the second reading of the amendment to the alcohol control ordinance. Magistrate Leslie and I assume Chief Smith.
Yes. The chief had noticed a mistake when we did the original ordinance, leaving out package sales. So that's what Chief Smith emailed me, and I said, I agree, that should be added.
Chief Smith?
Yes, sir.
There's only one minor.
There's only one minor change under page 20, Article 27, under the hours of sales and delivery. We had forgot to include package sales in there, so we went back and included the wording or offer package sales. And that's included with the hours of sales and delivery. That's the only change to the ordinance.
Okay, all righty. We need to have a public hearing on this portion also. I'm going to ask for anybody that would like to speak against this ordinance to come forward now. Anybody that would like to speak in favor of the ordinance? Seeing no one, I'll take a motion to amend the alcohol control ordinance. Motion and seconded. Any discussion on this? Magistrate Leslie?
Point of order, we need to put the ordinance number in there, in the motion.
You're gonna put that in, didn't you, first?
Excuse me?
Who wants to know what you want to
Please
do?
go ahead.
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 16-410-181, in order to replace and repeal ordinance number KOC 16-410-76.
Thank you.
I second it.
Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Okay. Committee recommendations and reports. Road Committee, that would be me. We have some bond releases to discuss today, and I'm going to turn this over to Beth Stuber, County Engineer.
The first bond release we have is for the erosion control bond in Morgan Place, Section 1. You may remember recently we released on April 5th the bond, erosion control bond in Section 2. We'd previously released the road bond, so we have finally got Morgan Place Section 1 in good order, and I'd like to request the bond release in the amount of $20,225.
We have a bond release, erosion control bond release in the amount of $20,225. Is there a motion to that effect?
I'd like to make that motion, please.
It's in your district, isn't it,
Yes, it
Magistrate?
is.
Okay.
Second.
Bob Leslie, thank you. Any discussion on the matter? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Next one, Ms. Stuber.
Next one is the new Walmart on Veterans Memorial Parkway for the erosion control bond. It looks extremely nice, and we'd like to get the erosion control bond in the amount of $247,000 released.
247.
Steve, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Magistrate Logston, second by Magistrate Sparks to release this erosion control bond. Any discussion, Magistrate Sparks?
Yeah, Beth, they've got two roads that go into there. One kind of comes from where the elementary school is. Who owns that little thing from their parking lot to there? Is that a county road? Is that their
No.
driveway?
It's either, I don't believe it's city, I believe it's private. I'm fairly
Private.
certain but it's definitely not county.
Okay.
It's a stub road, and I've been asked that question before. So like from Veterans Memorial Parkway back to where the school is, and there's a guardrail preventing anybody going further, that's not a county road.
No.
Okay.
And is that hill that goes right up to there, is that part of this erosion control
No.
thing?
No.
That, 'cause it doesn't seem like there's any landscaping or any kind of upkeep on that, so I'd really like to know who owns that road there.
Yeah, Walmart had a specific footprint, and some of the areas surrounding their footprint does not look up to standard, I suppose. Some of it, I believe, is still owned by the underlying property owner. I think it's Main Street
I
Realty.
think there's two parcels still there, so it's still owned by the developer.
Yeah.
The part where you go up the hill toward that, okay, is owned by the developer? I know the South Oldham Cross Country Team runs on the other, one of the parts of it over there.
So, but that is all in compliance with any kind of
Where
regulations
their
we
footprint
have.
is under compliance.
Yes, their footprint is definitely under compliance. Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And abstentions? Motion carries. The third one, bond release for Summit Park. Ms. Stuber?
Okay. Summit Parks has gone on for a very long time. We currently have a new developer, different from the first one. They've worked with it for about a year. They have completed building the roads, so we'd like to get their performance bond released. of $46,000. Those roads will become part of the city of LaGrange. They've not yet accepted them, but they will go to the city, not the county. And then we also have the erosion control bond, since the developers completed everything asked of them by the EPA, of $30,000 that we'd like to also get released.
I believe we can do both of these at the same time, and I'll make a motion, being it's my district, to go ahead and release these two bonds.
Second.
We have a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Beth, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Utilities Committee, the FEMA grant application discussion, Magistrate Eldridge and Jim Urban.
Thank you, Mr. Greenwell. We do have Jim Urban here today, but actually I don't know that we're going to need him to come forward, but he's right here. We had a great meeting with the property owners from there. It was attended by all the Utilities Committee as well as Jim Urban and Becky Zocklin. Just to fill you in a little bit on this FEMA, there's a couple of things to know. One, no part of this grant is paid for out of tax money. This is all paid for out of the insurance money that goes into these flood programs. Two, the county is out no money at all on this. In fact, in the FEMA program, there is a small amount of stipend in there that actually reimburses for the hours that Ms. Zocklin and others put in toward this. What this money does is it goes for one of two things. It's rather odd. It goes for raising or raising. It goes for either raising the house up out of the floodplain or raising as in the sense of tearing it down. And in that point, the county acquires the property, and that property is in perpetuity ours. One of the great things about this neighborhood is they all bonded together. There are actually two homeowners associations. They came together. They had a lot of representation at the meeting. They are currently working with Ms. Zocklin and Jim and myself to come up with an agreement to where those county properties that are acquired there would be maintained by them. We would still assist them, obviously, just like we always have, but it wouldn't be a situation where the county would have property there that we'd be constantly having to go all the way over there and mow and things like that. So I think it's a win-win for them. It's a win-win for us as a community because we can use these federal dollars that are in insurance, again, not in tax, to help our community. So we unanimously decided that we would make a motion to allow staff to move forward in applying for the FEMA grant, whose application is due on June 15th, 2016. There may be a question going forward on who would be allowed to participate, who would be allowed to make application for this grant. If that can't be worked out between the communities and Jim and Ms. Zocklin, then at that point the Utilities Committee would have a called meeting to try to help them extradite that. The main thing is we need to get this motion passed so we can have this grant in by June 15th, 2016. To give you another little bit of background, the county's been very successful for this. In 2014, we were awarded a $1.2 million grant. We applied again last year. One was turned down, but another is still in consideration, so we feel like we've got a good chance if we can go ahead and apply to make headway in the future with this. So with that, I would like to make that motion.
I'll second that.
Motion by Magistrate Eldridge, second by Magistrate Logston, that we apply for the FEMA grant for Riverside, what?
It's Riverside Drive, but it's actually two homeowners associations there, but it would be all on Riverside Drive, yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for the two homeowners associations working in conjunction with each other. That doesn't happen a lot of times, but thank you all for doing that. Is there any more discussion to apply for this FEMA grant? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next on the agenda, contract agreements and resolutions. We have a 2015 CMRS grant award agreement. Kevin Nuss, floor is all yours.
Good afternoon. I'm here to ask you to allow the judge to sign the 2015 CMRS grant award that we received. It's just a little over $60,000, and you may remember we put this out for bid, this project out for bid several months ago. That was a requirement of the grant, was to go ahead and do the bid process prior to the grant award. We were awarded the full amount of the grant, which is $60,000, I think $678 thereabouts. It is for emergency medical dispatch software, so that we can use that to computerize the questions that we ask for not only emergency medical dispatch, but for police and fire response as well. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Questions about what CMRS stands for?
It's the Commercial Mobile Radio Service Board. Basically, they're the 911 wireless provider. They collect all the wireless 911 fees in the state, and by collecting those fees, they put a certain amount, a little over $2 million, into a budget for grant awards, and so we applied for the grant and received 100% funding.
Okay, thank you very much. While Kevin's up here, well, first of all, let's have a motion to allow the judge to sign this grant award.
Make that motion.
Second?
Got it?
Magistrate Tice. Any questions? Magistrate Eldridge.
Kevin, I'm not going to put you on the spot. I'm going to ask you this, and if you don't want to answer today, you can come back another time. The law that was recently passed in Frankfurt concerning 911 funding, how will that affect this? And if you don't know the answer today and want to come back, that's fine too.
The short answer is it will increase revenue, but it will take a couple of years for that revenue for us to see that. They've done away with with part of a fund that's cost recovery. That money was going back to the cell providers for them. A portion of the 911 fees that are collected wirelessly went back to the cell providers. It was called cost recovery. They have agreed to no longer accept those fees, so that money will come to the PSAPs, the 911 centers, fairly immediately, starting with, I think, our November payment that we received. And then over time, we will receive some additional funding because some of the prepaid carriers like Cricket and some of the prepaid plans like that will be billed at the percentage that we were supposed to have been getting all along. We've been in litigation with those companies, and Kentucky has won that litigation, so we will now start seeing some additional revenue. How much, I can't say, but we will see some additional revenue.
Thank you for that update.
Anybody else got any questions for Kevin? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you, Kevin.
Did you have something else you want to ask?
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you.
Next is a resolution to accept the 2016 county road list, and Beth Stuber is going to present.
Every year, the KIPTA asks for a resolution of all of our roads in the county road system so they can turn that over to the Kentucky Transportation System and have that recorded for us so that we may have the road numbers, and also, more importantly, that we can have the funding based on the amount of roads and mileage we have. So this year, I'd like to turn over our road rating book. That is our list of county roads, and you all received a copy of this a little while back, and I will keep an official copy in my office. So I'm asking that we approve this ordinance to send this road list to KIPTA as their official road list for the Oldham County.
This actually is a resolution, and I'm going to read it here shortly, but we need a motion to pass this, please.
I make that motion that we accept Resolution 01051716.
Thank you, Magistrate Leslie. Second by Kevin Eldridge. Thank you. I'll go ahead and read the resolution. As Bob said, it's resolution number 01051716. A resolution accepting newly constructed roads into the county road system at the request of the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Highways. Whereas the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Highways has asked for a blanket resolution listing all roads accepted by the county, and whereas the roads accepted by this resolution will be located, measured, and assigned county road numbers by the Kentuckiana Regional Planning and Development Agency, KIPTA, for the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Highways, and whereas these roads will be used towards county and municipal road aid calculations, and whereas the assignment of county road numbers is necessary to receive funds through the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid. Now be it resolved, the Fiscal Court of Oldham County does hereby resolve to accept the roads listed in the 2016 road rating book produced by the Oldham County Fiscal Court into the Oldham County Road Maintenance System for use by KIPTA. The vote was taken on the said resolution, and the result being as follows. Is there any other questions or comments before we take a vote?
I have one.
Magistrate Sparks.
How many new roads do we have for the year?
honestly don't have that in front of me. I would say around 15 that are new, that have been accepted in this fiscal year.
And that includes all the little cul-de-sacs, stub
Right.
roads, and all that kind of stuff within a development. I know Magistrate Dye has had some in his district come in. And so if there's 15 roads, I would guess certainly not over 15 miles, and maybe not even half of that.
No, I'd say it's more like 3 or 4 miles.
Okay, all right.
Shouldn't we outline just the roads that have been added and have them attach this instead? And we can reference the big book of all of ours, but just having those
Well-
on here gives us a,
This year, I think we want to go with the big book, say, this is everything. In the past few years, we've tried just to call out,
Yeah.
but there's discrepancies between what they have and what we have. And so now we're saying this is our entire road list for you all to work off. And then and from now on, we'll just give them the list of the roads that were done that year.
I understand that, and I accept sending them the whole book. My question is kind of more of a administrative thing, because a lot of times we've had questions on roads that something happened on them 30 years ago, and we were able to go back and find the original resolution and see, yep, that one's on the list.
Well-
So I think that it should be on this list, and then we should attach the book also.
We do have that, and also every time we bring a road into the county system, there is a motion through court, so it will be in all the fiscal court records. So,
That is true. I mean, every time we read these at every beginning of the meeting, it's in there for public record. And so it wouldn't be too hard to find, I don't believe. Anybody else got any questions? Magistrate Dye?
Yeah, as we've talked before, Beth, there's one road in the book that's not ours, it's Pee Wee Valley's.
right, that far.
And there's one road in my district that's not in the book.
There are a couple of minor problems with this list. It is considered the best we're going to get for the time being. I'm going to keep working at it as I find minor issues and updating it. But the bulk of it is correct, and so I'd like to go ahead and get that into KIP to, because
I would say 99.9%.
percent of it is probably
Yes,
correct.
Magistrate Sparks?
But don't send stuff in, don't approve laws, don't send stuff in that isn't accurate. All right, if it's 99%, it's not done, it's not ready to go.
We would need to delete County Treasurer Melissa Horn. You seem to be chomping at the bit.
I would ask that you approve this resolution because it will benefit us financially. And even if it is 100% accurate, every dollar helps our budget.
I realize that, but I'm saying fix what's wrong before you submit it. Make it right.
Would that be hard to do, Beth?
It's a lot harder than it sounds, yes. I've put hours and hours and hours to get it to this point.
Okay. Unless anybody's got any objections, we're going to go ahead and have a roll call vote. You can vote yes or no. Ms. Fair, would you please read the vote, please?
Magistrate Dye,
Yes.
Magistrate Logsdon,
Yes.
Magistrate Tice,
Yes?
Magistrate Leslie,
Yes.
Magistrate Sparks,
No.
Magistrate Greenwell,
Yes.
Magistrate Eldridge,
Yes.
6-1. Vote passes 6-1. Thank you, Beth.
Thanks, Beth.
Okay, next we have some personnel actions and board, well, no board appointments, but personnel actions. Tina Schaaf, would you come forward, please?
Good afternoon. For personnel actions, we have several. There's the maintenance department. We'd like to present a new hire as the recycling center manager, Scott Compton, $15.76 an hour, effective tomorrow.
So moved.
Motion and second. Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries.
Okay, the next one, road department, we have a new hire, equipment operator 1, Joseph Bricker, for $13.50 an hour, effective also tomorrow.
A motion to accept this new hire?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries.
Did you want me to do all these four at once, these next?
I think we can do all of those as a group.
As a group? Okay.
Yes.
We have the Parks and Recreation Department. We have a resignation.
No, first of all, I'm sorry, Tina.
Oh, what?
Let's do the resignation.
Nation,
and
oh, no,
yes.
separate, okay.
Yes.
The resignation for the Community Center Coordinator, Paige Reedfield, effective June 3rd.
Motion to accept the resignation.
I will accept that regrettably. She's been a great employee.
Second by Magistrate Dye. Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Okay, now, Tina, I think you can do the others.
All the new hires for Parks and Rec. We have a Parks laborer, Micah Reynolds, at $13.77 an hour, effective tomorrow.
So moved.
Thought we were going to do them all.
We are. And then a building monitor, Savannah Martin, at $7.25 an hour, effective tomorrow as well. And then the attached seasonal staff for the Aquatic Center.
These would be lifeguards, aquatic
Lifeguards,
assistants, and snack bar workers,
Yes. And then there's a supervisor on duty and an intern as
an
well.
intern, okay?
So moved.
Second. Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Okay, we're up for our second public comment, time where you can come forward if you heard something that piqued your interest while we had this meeting. So anybody would like to come forward?
Good afternoon. My name is Cindy Harbin. I am a resident at 1220 Riverside Drive, and I want to thank each of you for moving forward with the FEMA project and giving us, who are working part of the flood mitigation project, to move forward. And the reason I'm so excited about this is because in 2014, $89 million was set aside. I applied, did not get the grant. 2015, $155 million were set aside. I'm still one of the two pending, so I'm very excited. But if it doesn't happen, 2016, where $199 million has been set aside, I'll be applying again. So what I'm asking you today is, we can see that it's continuing need and that FEMA, or the National Flood Insurance, is asking us to look at how can we improve this. One of the criteria is getting the homeowners. One of the first priorities is to get at least 50% of the homeowners. So there are 100 homes in our community between the two homeowners associations. There's other communities up and down the river. But the reality is this: we have to have these grants submitted by June 15th. So right now, we've got those who didn't make it last year, plus maybe a couple. But I'm asking you to start thinking about 2017. Because 2017, we're anticipating, because of the letters we're getting from the National Flood Insurance, is they're saying, you've got flood claims, start applying to mitigate. So we're asking you, I'm asking you as a citizen, to consider 2017 and maybe on, so that we can get to that 50% and or 100% of those who can mitigate to do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else would like to speak? Yes.
Well, I'd like to thank you all for your support, especially the Utility Committee, because we worked quite closely on this. And I believe we've reached a very good accommodation, and I certainly appreciate you all's support for going ahead on 2016. I'd like to amplify what Ms. Harbin said with respect to a go-forward kind of situation. This year in 2016, there was substantial discussion about whether or not we were going to continue with this program at all. And as a result, some people who had anticipated applying in 2016 did not complete their work to meet the deadline. There's a substantial amount of effort required to make an application. You have to get a new flood certificate, you have to do architectural plans developments, and while those costs are allowable as a part of the grant application, if you don't make the application, you lose the investment that you've made in that. So it's quite important, as she points out, that we look at this in the long term, for a long-term commitment to this program, so that people can plan and do the necessary work to be ready. And for example, I don't know what the exact plan is this year to deal with the 2016 submittal, since it's right upon it with a June 15th deadline. But I know of at least two, I'll call them new applicants, meaning they weren't in 2014 and they weren't in the group that was turned down in 2015, who are ready to go. I mean, they're ready to go. They've got their paperwork and everything ready to go. So I would certainly like to see them have the opportunity to be included in the 2016 grant. And I'd like to be able to, that we would say to the remainder of the folks who've been cogitating on doing this, and I know there's quite a number of them, that yes, you're going to have the opportunity in 2017 if you get your act together to get the paperwork ready to be able to support the application process.
We'll definitely be working at it on our end, and if you can talk to other people in your community and urge them to, it ought to work out good, I think.
Yes, we will certainly do that. But again, thank you very much.
And what was your name again for the record?
I'm sorry. My name is Bill Schmidt, and
Thank
I
you,
live
Bill.
at 1110 Riverside Drive.
Okay.
And I can't tell you how much enthusiasm there is in our community for this, because it creates an opportunity that many of these folks have not had before. And as you know, what's happened with the flood insurance business, properties have been devalued. We've had situations where people are simply unable to sell their property even at a reasonable market value because of the spook of the cost of the insurance. And this gives them an opportunity to escape that, improve their property, improve the appearance of the neighborhood. And because it's a, if you will, I don't want to say no burden, because Jim will come after me, all right, but it's certainly not a financial burden on on Oldham County to be able to support this and take advantage of what, and FEMA has advertised to all of us, apply for this program, because their objective is to get claims off the rolls. So it's fully consistent with it. And again, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate your support.
Anybody else for public comment? Okay, we're going to close that. Coming down to other business and judge executive announcements and updates. Magistrate Logston.
One thing, thank you, Steve. The South Oldham Fire Department is having their annual, it's the second annual run and walk, and a fire department, what they're doing, their firefighting challenge also. It's on May the 28th at 7 p.m. There is a registration and a fee for it, and you can call the South Oldham Fire Department at 241-8992. That's 241-8992. There is a registration fee for it because it's going for a charity for the, let's see, it's Crusade for Children, battling cancer. So please call them at 241-8992. But it's a great event. There's you walk and run, but there's a firefighter challenge that goes through Udell Gardens, and it's lit by fire, and they just do. It's really a neat experience. So please come out and help Crusade for Children for the cancer. But that's all I have.
Magistrate Tice.
Nothing for me today. Thank you.
Magistrate Leslie.
Nothing today, sir.
I'm coming back, Mr. Carter. Magistrate Dye.
Thank you, Chairperson,
What's he
Chairman.
doing?
He doesn't know.
No, I will see if y'all are awake.
Yeah, there you go.
We usually go right down the line. We're not doing that today.
All right, the Brownsboro Alliance, their trail program, they've want to have a Brownsboro Youth Experience 2016. It'll be the first one. It's a camp, more or less, for 12 to 17-year-olds here in Oldham County. It's going to be you're going to be discovering the trail system, being around nature, and how to be safe around nature. You're going to tour our farm in Brownsboro, participate in a scavenger hunt and team exercises, and begin to foster an understanding and love of nature and wildlife in one of the most beautiful settings that is close to Louisville in the Brownsboro area. If you have a young person between 12 or 17, you can contact, and I always tell people to say this slow, so I'll say it slow. Contact Brownsboro Alliance, all one word, @org//BYE, B-Y-E. Or you can call Kathy Roberts at 645-1870. Thank you.
Magistrate Eldridge.
Yes, sir. I want to congratulate the LaGrange Farmers Market. They had their grand opening this last weekend. Mother Nature came early and not very happily, but they still managed to have a great day. There were a lot of people turned out, so thank you to Russ and all the group that does that. Secondly, we'd like to thank our stand-in chair, Mr. Greenwell. You've done a great job. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Magistrate Sparks.
Yeah, I wanted to apologize. I know you guys had some other people that were here too. And we didn't bring them up at the same time that we voted on that, but I'm glad that you got a chance to voice your concerns, and I think probably educated some other people on the TV. I hope a lot of people got out and voted today. I saw a lot of activity when I went to vote, so I was impressed with that. And there's an exciting event coming up in town in Louisville this coming weekend. The NRA is having their national convention. If you're curious about your Second Amendment rights and your constitutional rights, you'd be welcome to attend. I'm sure it's open to the members, but you can join. They have discounted memberships there. I think it's like $10 or something for a simple membership. So please consider attending. Thank you.
Mr. Carter.
Magistrate Greenwell, I'd like to re-advise the court on the budget. I think we need to read at least the categories for the first reading on the page 3.
Okay.
For it to be a proper first reading. I apologize for that. I did not see it was an ordinance. And upon reflection, I think we need at least to do that.
Thank you very much for that advice. Magistrate Tice, can you read the...
Back to that. Do you want all of the categories as we go down through there?
Just the general categories
Okay.
and the amount.
And this is ordinance, and it's KOC 16-200-218, general government, at approximately, let's see, $5,466,706. Protection of persons and property, $4,254,956. General health and sanitation, $982,004. Social services, $115,000. Recreation and culture, $1,542,398. Debt service, $11,191,263. Capital projects, $15 million. Administration, $940,871. General total is $44,493,273. The road fund is $3,143,261.06. The jail fund is $2,211,342.10. The LGA fund, let's see, the protection to persons and property, $91,878. General health and sanitation, $629,327. The recreation and leisure is $361,420. Total bus services, $55,000. Transportation facilities and services, $6,603,900. The total for the LGA fund is $8,243,163.12. Dispatch services is $1,084,398. Police fund is $12,200. Road maintenance fund is $10,000. Gives a total budget expenses, and it is a balanced budget, so it's $59,197,565.76.
Mr. Carter, are we good?
I think that'll do it.
Thank you very much for pointing that out.
And let me say one other thing, that in case I forget the next time, when we come back for the second reading, it'll also have the fiscal court adopted ordinance that we can go on and pay all the payrolls and the reoccurring expenses.
That would be the standing order?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the one I usually forget, so I have it here today.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Magistrate.
I was told by Magistrate Logton I was remiss on the summer experience in Brownsboro that I didn't give the date. I thought I did. It's June 13th through 17th. Thank you, Magistrate Logston.
Thank you for that correction. I just want to thank everybody that helped put this on today. It didn't happen by us up here. There's a lot of people behind the scenes, and I want to thank them very much. Also want to express my condolences to George Parrish's family. George passed away about a week ago. Hasn't been a month ago that he stood up here passionately talking about Brownsboro, which he always did. And so he was a constable for, I don't know, 28 or 36 years. Okay, anyway, just a really good guy to know and get to know. So my condolences to his family. Memorial Day ceremony, Monday, May 30th, 10 a.m. at the Courthouse Square in LaGrange. It's always an excellent ceremony, and so I'd urge everyone to be there. And I was going to say, be sure and get out to vote. Thank you, Magistrate Sparks. And unless somebody else has got anything, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I forgot to do this earlier.
Got the ball rolling for you guys.
Appreciate it.
I never got that email. To a different address.